Greetings, one and all, to this week's episode of 10 o'clock. I nearly said Campai Cast. Wrong show.
Excellent.
There's another podcast. But anyway, so I am joined yet again. I am Xeno, your host with the most to boast, and I am joined by the replacement Loz, Nazareth.
Replacement laws. I kind of like that somehow.
Weird. Okay. So to instantly smack the fist with the fist and the fist. Loz is still not here. No.
No,
Loz is
too late.
Not yet. Oh, you already did. Okay. So first dojo dusting. Loz is still missing. I was spoken to. So basically, the long and the short of it is, they came to install the internet again. The engineer did, but lo and behold, they still haven't got it set up properly. And Loz complained, and now he got a phone call, I think Friday, end of day sort of thing, and like they give him another call on Monday to organize the fourth attempt at this now.
Yeah, it's crazy. I've never heard of someone having this much trouble.
Honestly, it's quite common in the UK. So my parents, who live out in the arse end of nowhere, they had issues where they couldn't get fiber internet. So both neighbors, either side of them, had fiber internet, but they couldn't get it. Turns out British Telecom, BT, who does all the landline infrastructure, they had two geographical locations, like two longitude and latitudes, for the house address on two different databases, right? So one database had it correct, the other one had it down the road, right? So like quite far away from where the house actually was. And it was like, I think it's like a quarter of a mile away sort of thing. And it's just like, do you mind actually fixing this? And it took like a letter to the heads of BT to actually get it sorted out. It was absolutely ridiculous. They had to fight for it for like a year before they could get fiber. And here I am, stuck in the second largest fucking city in the goddamn country, in the fucking center of the goddamn city, and I can't get fiber.
Literally across the street from you, I believe. They have fiber.
Yeah. No word of a lie. They have fiber across the street from me. But they've only wired up half the fucking street. And then COVID hit, and like, oh, well, we can't do COVID installations. Sorry, we can't do installations because of COVID and things like. We can't do installations because you haven't fucking wired up the goddamn box down the road. Anyway.
Terrible.
Right, so that's the first dojo dusting. The second dojo dusting is we have some platinum winners. And I have to zoom in on the doc. Right, so on PC we have Bright TH. PlayStation we have Coven Ma. Xbox we have Stromfist 101. And then on Nintendo Switch, for the first time ever, not Nick Knight or Tucker Wins, we have Far Look.
Ooh.
So, yeah, nice. A new person entirely. Right. So, that
makes 51 Switch players.
So I think that is it for Dojo. I don't think there's anything else to talk about.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Nope. Okay. So time for the war report.
Such as it is.
Yeah, well, I mean, the war report's going to very quickly turn into the main topic, but basically, there was a dev stream this week. Oh shoot, I forgot the Garuda Prime giveaway.
Right.
Yeah. So the Garuda Prime giveaway is on for, I think, another 2 days after this video goes live. Make sure that you enter, because in all honesty, you guys, you put in all the effort and everything to listen to the podcast. You guys totally deserve being in the Nazith, you're fucking this up so goddamn hard.
Shush. Nobody sees anything.
No. You've selected topic 2, dude.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's why I had to interject. He's like, anyway, so where the feck was I? Keep going. Just keep going. No, you fucking god. You can see the red. Oh my god! Sorry, I'm watching Nazith try to put the name in for the topic, and he is fucking hamming this.
They don't need to know that. They don't.
No, they're getting a running commentary. They're getting a running fucking
the fact that I forgot to do that before the
anyway,
stream started.
In the description, there'll be a link to the Twitter post. Honestly, there are so many people that have not successfully entered. That have not correctly entered. It's crazy. So, I think there's like 250 people that have done it properly. I even made an announcement during the week and like no one's changed it. I'm like, well, anyway, right.
Loss.
Yep. So that will be closing on Wednesday the 13th. I'll be contacting the winner and I'll ask for their contact details. It would be nice if I had some form of nice communication as opposed to just a name and a platform, and then when am I getting it? It's like thank you would be nice. Sorry, the last one left me really salty because it was just like, they kept on messaging me saying, I haven't had it yet. Yeah, you won't get it until this date. I've told you this 3 times now. What's the date? Yeah, that's right. It's before the date I told you. Anyway. Oh well, such is life. Such is the
life of a gamer.
Yep, right. So this week's we had the dev stream, and the topic is the dev stream. So should we just jump straight into it?
Who knew that the topic would be what the dev stream is about?
The dev stream. Did you? I didn't see you. Did you hit the chapter button?
Yes. Yeah, I hit.
Cool.
I'm pretty
Right.
sure. Yeah.
No, that's fine. That's fine. I believe you. Right. Okay. So, dev stream 161. We have lovely, detailed, and lengthy notes by Thalion.
Sweet verbose Thalion.
God, thank I do love you, Thalion. Kind of wish you'd bullet point more. Right. Dev stream dusting. This is the stream. This stream is a full dive into Angels of the Zariman, complete with dev build bugs. DE is doing another charity drive. This one is for the Voices for Children, a Ukrainian charity, and you can donate via the main website or whatever, or whenever they're streaming. Yeah, I think they have like a exclamation mark donate or something. I'm not entirely sure.
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
Anyway, so Angels of the Zariman is a quest update. The splash art preview Gyre, the Drifter, Operator, and Excalibur with one of the new weapons. The prerequisites for the quest is to have completed the new war, but DE are streamlining the road to the new war for players who haven't reached it yet. This includes removing some junction challenges like the 8-hour crafting of a Spectre to improve the progress through the star chart. Rebecca also stated that they will be doing more of this as further quests are released. Steve briefly mentioned crossplay and that they are that the current issue they are working on is the name conflicts as usually exist on networking. I wouldn't be surprised if, I don't know, maybe they would do a force rename.
Yeah, what if 2 people on different platforms have the same name? How would they resolve?
People.
Yeah, sorry, 2 different people on 2 different platforms. How would they resolve that?
Well, I don't know. I mean, like, give
them both default name or like randomized names, and then give them one free name change, maybe.
Well, I think the easiest thing to be, like, when you log in, it asks you to either change your name or confirm your name. Because the thing is, it might be people that haven't played in a long time.
True.
Yeah, so you're fighting against someone that already has your name. I mean, I wouldn't really want the prefix of a console on there. And should multiple people be allowed to have the same name?
Yeah,
right?
because I think other platforms, it's like tied to your email address, so you can have the same name.
Well, I mean, here's the problem. I would not be comfortable as one of their partners to have multiple people with the name Xeno.
Right. Yeah, that's
right?
true. Yeah.
I wouldn't like that at all. So I think that in some regards, maybe names in special cases have to be made safe.
Yeah.
But again, there are some people that I knew some content creators that didn't even play by their
content name.
Exactly. They played by a different alias altogether.
Well, in the footage right now, I'm using Three-Leg Hyena, which is not me. That's not my name.
Yeah. So it's I think it's a difficult one. Maybe something to do with tags, like hashtags. So Discord has this, so you can have multiple Xenogellions, but there's only one with
your last 4 digits.
Exactly. So maybe that's a way of getting around it.
Yeah.
But it's a difficult one. Personally, I'm not a huge fan of last 4 digits, but
yeah. Well, I mean, it doesn't have to be visible, but yeah.
Right. Cool. So,
should we talk a bit about the quest, or what we think the quest might be?
Well, do you have theories for what the quest could be?
So I think it's going to be. I think it's definitely going to be something along the lines of Voxelaris or the Heart of Deimos. Probably closer to the Heart of Deimos because they're like, it's going to continue the story. So I think it's going to be similar to Heart of Deimos, where it's tangentially related, but it's really just an excuse to introduce you to the area.
I kind of agree with tangentially related. I kind of agree with the whole it's introduced to the area, because I think the big thing, I was talking about this in the upcoming Arbiters. I feel that the Zariman is a stepping stone into the void. I think that the Zariman is supposed to be the bridge that gets us into the void.
Right.
So, the whole plains of Deviri, or whatever we want to call it. I think this is how we're going to get there.
Right, because you can see, well, I mean, not that the Deviri trailer necessarily has to reflect the final product, but you did see the Zariman in there in the background. So it would make sense that it's kind of bridging both. It's sort of straddling both realities.
Just to highlight even further, it was the back half of the Zariman we saw.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
Whereas right now we see the front half protruding through what we assume is the void.
Yeah.
So I think there's something to do with that. They do, at the end of the dev stream, they actually played a teaser trailer for the upcoming update. And personally, like at the very end, it was like this thing skittering around the rafters. And that part of me feels like, oh, is this the start of the Deviri? Is this something like, is this something new? Is this what is this?
You know what would be great is if it was Stalker 2.0 or 3.0, or something similar to Stalker, some sort of a new assassin
that only functions in
the Zariman. Yeah.
I'm not sure how I feel about that. I think it's kind of a cool idea, but I think it would lose its value quite quickly due to people not constantly doing the Zariman. I
Yeah,
think.
well, yeah, maybe. I mean, if they extended it to also existing in the plains of Duviri, it might still have some relevance in the future. But yeah, I get what you mean.
True.
I get what you mean.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to lock it down to one place. Maybe it's a case of for the first 6 months it's only in Zariman and then it leaves.
Yeah.
So it finds a way off, or
just
what
like the
have
man in the wall did.
But I also like. Okay, so the NPCs, right? They're quest related. We don't know anything about these NPCs.
Yeah, they wouldn't even show them to us.
Yeah,
I mean, at least when they were showing off Fortuna and the other Necrolisk, they actually showed us a bunch, like a good chunk of the quest and the NPCs. I'm kind of surprised they didn't with this one.
And just to confirm that, like, I have not been given any form of information. I have not seen, or I've got no information whatsoever on this. I have a sneaking suspicion that we're going to see maybe drifters that are like other Tenno, or we're going to see, like, do you know what I mean by that? So basically, drifter
other
Tenno,
Zariman children who stayed behind.
Effectively, yes. Right? Maybe some named ones. Maybe we'll start seeing remnants of the parents.
Yeah.
But aside from that, I really don't know. I wouldn't like it, honestly, if it's like a brand new faction. Let's call them the crap. What's the Nephilim? That's the term for for
the angel human hybrids.
Yeah. So we start seeing like a new faction called the Nephilim, and it's like what the fuck is this? What the hell is this?
Well, they did say it's going to be a new syndicate, so I mean,
yeah, but I just like there's so much opportunity to just go, yeah, but they are the remains of your dead parents or the original crew of the Zariman.
So you want it to be want it to be the Zariman syndicate?
No, I want it to make sense. Right?
Well, but yeah,
I don't want it to be, oh yeah, this is a new species. They're native to the void.
It is the Zariman syndicate. It's the people the remains of the Zariman people, the Zariman colonists.
Even if it was a case of there's like Orokin, right? There was Orokin on the Zariman, right? Yeah. Again, I'm fine with that.
They're all just one communal group.
Yeah, it's just like I just want it, whatever it is. I just want it to make sense. That's all.
Yeah.
We are the Warlings. As the Warlings, we separated from the man in the wall, right? What the fuck?
Yeah, no, please no. Do you know what I mean? Please no.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get you. I get you. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
To me, it's a little bit suspicious that they're being so tight-lipped.
And it feels like, but at the same time, it also feels like they're trying to hype it because they keep saying, "Oh, it's going to continue the story. Hey, guys, that story you love? It's going to continue it." And I don't really think it is going to continue it, any more than Heart of Deimos did. Like, what did we really get out of that aside from some background information, so a little bit of lore?
Yeah.
And the only good lore was in the back room, not what we actually got from the quest.
Yeah. Right, should we move on?
Sure. Yeah.
So then we have the Incaron.
Incaron?
I think it's like Incarnon weapons.
It makes me think of incarnation somehow.
Right.
Yeah.
Zariman, or the Zariman. Ooh, pardon me. Will unlock different vendors, including the hub town's weapon vendor. So just like Hawk or Zood. It is Zood, isn't it?
Yep, Root Zood.
Yeah.
Father.
Yep. Who will supply the evolving weapons called incarnate weapons. These are void-affected weapons that will visually change when in mission. I think that's supposed to be just in mission.
Like while in mission,
by
yeah.
activating the incarnate mode.
Hmm.
A short video showed that you need to unlock the incarnate mode, then unlock its evolutions through gameplay. You will be able to manage evolutions from your arsenal with an addition to the UI that appears above the stats. So you're on the arsenal, you pick the weapon, and on the right hand side, you can see. I think that's just you can see it. I don't think you change it there. Maybe it is the CTA, the call to action, that allows you to jump into it. 3 incarnate weapons will be shipping with the update, while another 2 will be released later, and the quest will introduce the NPC that teaches you how to unlock and work with the incarnate weapons. How do you feel about the weapons?
So to me, this kind of feels like something that I've been hoping for a while that they would do, is Zaws that you can, or kit guns that you can replace the parts on without having to build a whole new one. Only instead of that, it's you're switching out evolutions to customize it how you want it on, between missions. Yeah. I'm fine with them. I don't think it's a. I don't know if it's going to be all that cool. I think they're just going to get it's going to essentially be like, oh, you get a neat alt fire, but I'm sure it'll be fine. I'm sure they'll be fine.
I think it will be a more streamlined version of the kit guns, because with the kit guns, you made the one kit gun, you made the Spore Lacer or the Catch Moon that was the best Spore Lacer or the best Catch Moon, and then you pretty much just forsake everything else.
Yeah. Yep.
So I feel that what they are achieving with this is the ability to pick and mix different parts without actually having to physically change the model.
Yeah.
So that is in part good. The problem I have with this system is it's a talent tree system where you choose one of 3 talents, and no matter what, it's really hard to build a system where everything is on equal footing, right? So if for example, this one reduces your weapon recoil, this one increases your magazine capacity, and this increases your damage output by 1%, everyone will go for the fucking 1%, right?
Yeah, well, there's always going to be a best combination that comes out of it.
Well, a lot. Yeah. So World of Warcraft used to have these like really intricate talent trees, right? And they got so crazy to the point of you could actually spec into. So you would have abilities for your spec buried in the talent tree, right? So you could actually unlock, if you were sparing, you could unlock 2 of the main talents in 2 of your 3 trees, right? And it was just like, what the hell? So it went ballistic, and there was no way to keep it fresh because people would just make the one build and then just leave it at that. They wouldn't bother making any alterations to it whatsoever. So they massively simplified it to a point of like, okay, so this one, your hollow ground, which is a paladin ability for protection, is reduced in size, but it moves with you. This one, your avenging shield, which it's like Captain America's shield, and it bounces around hitting multiple targets, will hit 5 targets instead of 3. And this one is I don't know, something like, I can't think of another one, but basically they do all the same job, trying to keep aggro on you, right? And it's just a matter of preference of what you want. Yeah.
Yeah.
So this, like, I think DE will have a challenge on their hands as long as they keep the abilities, so the talents outside of the damage dealing meta. They'll be fine. But the second they start bringing it in, it'll be like, fuck, why bother?
Yeah. I mean, well, so I was gonna say, we almost have an example of this in the game without the talent tree. Like, I think the talent trees themselves are just kind of a visual representation of these are what you could put here, and you can switch between them anytime. I'm pretty sure you're not locked in. We have something kind of like that already on the Railjack. It's the avionics, and even then, you end up with, these are the best avionics to use. These will get you through the mission the fastest. It's blah 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 blah.
Which one's the avionics? Is that the mod?
Yes, that's stuff like the Void Cloak and yeah.
So, like, yeah. So I think we'll see cookie cutter builds just like we see with the kick guns. But yeah,
100%. But
right.
It's still an interesting idea, and I'm eager to get my hands on them and see what they can do.
Okay, so next is Valkyr Deluxe. The Carnivex. Not to be confused with the Carnifex, but the Carnivex collection was shown off. During this showcase, Rebecca featured the new zoom and pan for the tools in the arsenal, which is being created to help with the upcoming release of the Void Shell cosmetics, the ones with the customizable textures. Ooh, pardon me. For quality of life, the randomize button has also been given "Are you sure?" message. The "Are you sure?" So this is not the randomized color. This is the randomized loadout.
Yes.
Yeah. So
which is actually pretty good because I have accidentally hit that randomized button and then been like, oh, why did he do that?
Yeah, realistically, I think they could have actually made like an icon to show like replacing parts instead of just the word randomize. Yeah, so or maybe the randomize should be on because it was on the appearance section of the Warframe, wasn't it?
There's two randomized. There's randomized loadout and then there's randomized appearance when you're inside the appearance section. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was randomized the appearance.
Yeah.
And I think maybe it should just be a case of randomly pick a helmet, randomly pick a cyan data, randomly instead of actually just
yeah, you could put like a random button. They already have a reset for all of the individual ones. You could have a random button for all of the individual.
Yeah. So I mean, it's just on the colors, right? Anyway, it's just What did you think of the Valkyr Deluxe?
I have a feeling that those sleeves are going to become an attachment at some point, because I think a lot of players are going to want it because a lot of it looks really good, but I know a lot of people don't like the sleeves, and I'm with them. I think the sleeves are awful. I hate them.
Okay. Why? Can you elaborate?
They just don't look good. Those big, huge arms with that normal body, there's something wrong with it.
I'm actually in favor for the unbalanced nature of it. I like the fact that effectively she skipped leg day. It makes her feel different. I mean,
I posted a meme in your server earlier. It's the new it's what somebody thought the new Valkyr skin looks like, and it's SpongeBob with big giant buff arms. Yeah, and that's what it makes me think of. It's that level of kind of silly.
Yeah, but again, like I don't have an issue with this because you don't have to use it yourself.
Yeah,
like
of course.
I'm also entirely for asymmetry. Like I love equipment and shit that's asymmetrical, which is why like all my all my Oberon cosmetics use at least so I have one for each of the different head ornaments. So I've got one for the Invested, one for the Corpus, and one for the Grineer. And
But that's kind of why I think it's going to become an attachment, is because some people are going to want it. You don't think so?
I don't think so.
Right.
I don't think D have anything underneath those arms. I think like that skin is designed for that in mind. I did notice a lot of errors with the preview. Things like the arms clipping into the body, or the big ones was you had the coat that was going down the sides of her, but then like her left ribs, like the polygons for that were moving frantically with as she had idled, because the coat was moving.
I missed
and it
that.
was just like,
wow.
Yeah, I saw that one. I'm not the biggest fan for the booba spikes.
Yeah,
like they just feel like, Steve called it out, and I think either the rest of the couch crew just sort of like glazed over what he was saying, or they just missed what he was. But it was just they just seemed to be like really excessive. Maybe if they were like chest attachments or something, but it just seemed to be excessive to have it so prominent as part of the base skin.
Yeah, they were definitely going for a little bit of the sexy with the butt shot too.
One thing I'll also say, I am never a fan of giant solid colors.
Yeah,
right?
That's what I hate about the new Revenant skin. It's just one giant slab of color.
Yeah, so it was actually quite funny because I ended up having a conversation with D.E. Taylor years ago, right? Because this is when Tenno Gen had come in, and they showed off loads of the new Limbo cosmetics, right? And I was like, okay, you've shown off the front, but what does the back look like? And she goes,
giant
like,
slab.
oh well, it looks like his normal back. Is like, are you sure about that? Because his normal back is a giant flat color, right? It's just black. Are these black, or do they have gradients to them? And she had a look and was like, oh yeah, they do have gradients things. And I see what you mean about Limbo's back. It's like, it's just one solid color, and I don't like that.
Yeah,
like, it's boring as fuck.
Yep.
So I can completely get behind people not liking the arms for that reason, and I could also totally get behind not liking the new Revenant Deluxe for that reason. But I think I'll get the Valkyrie Deluxe regardless.
As long as I don't have to look at you.
I probably won't use it, but I'll probably buy it for
that's the thing. People. If you don't want it, you don't have to buy it. It's one of those things that a lot of people feel like they have to get everything, and it's just not true.
I did like the spike shoulders though. I thought they were cool.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering how many Warframes with like the thinnest, daintiest of arms, those spikes are just gonna like float in the air.
Again, the arms were the only part I really didn't like. The rest of it, like the tail and everything, was really cool. The body detailing was really cool. It's just yeah. Anyway,
should we move on to Gyre?
Oh, I think you mean Gyre.
Cool. Yeah, no, that does make sense because it's gyroscope. Right, okay, so we got Gyre. Rebecca went to gameplay to show off the new frame. Gyre has a unique dash, like many of the newer frames, that literally warps her through space. Her abilities are passive, 10% chance for her abilities to crit for each electrical status effect on enemies. It is currently unknown if this buff will be capped like Zephyr and Ureli. I don't know what that means, but okay. Or if it just ramps up to match the functional limit of spawned enemies like Embers does. Arc Spheres launches a sphere that deals damage on impact and then sparks radial damage from the point of impact for a short duration. Hit at least 3 enemies with the first impact increases the damage. Now, I thought it was if there were 3 enemies in the area, it will do more damage.
I don't remember, so I couldn't tell you.
Coil Horizon, throw a sphere that will implode after a short duration or when triggered, dealing damage and vacuuming enemies into a single spot. I did like the additional physics for this ability.
Yeah. I wonder if they're going to go back and add some of those physics to any of the older abilities. Probably not, but, you know.
Yeah, probably not. Cathode Grace, interesting name. Self buff for crit chance and energy regen that lasts only a few seconds. Kills increase the duration so that you can sustain the buff, but the ability is on a 60-second cooldown from cast. So using it wisely is recommended. Sorry, the name is... Oh, God.
Cathode Grace?
Yeah.
What's wrong with that? What's wrong with that, Xeno? What I don't understand. What could be wrong with cathode? Cathodes are electrical. You know, you deal with electricity when you're dealing with cathodes, right? Yeah. Yes, I do know what cathodes and anodes are. Yeah.
I just want to double check this. Yep, I was right. Okay, cool. So, do you know what the significance of cathode is?
Isn't it the negatively charged side of any particular system?
Yeah. I was like, I swear
anode is the positive side, I believe.
Yeah. I swear this is the negative. I swear, love of God, this is the negative. Why would the buff be called the negative?
Because nobody knows nobody's ever heard of anode, but they've heard of cathode ray tubes.
This is the dumbest fucking excuse I've ever heard.
And yet it's probably right.
Probably. So self-buff of crit chance and energy regen lasts only a few seconds. Kills increase the duration so that you can sustain the buff, but the ability is on a 60-second cooldown from cast. Use it wisely. Using it wisely is recommended. How do you feel about this ability?
I think it's interesting that it's on a cooldown, but you can also extend the duration. Because generally speaking, I don't like cooldown abilities. I prefer energy usage. But given the nature of this one, in that it just, I mean, geez, crit chance and energy. It's gonna be. Look, okay. So take somebody like me who's using Spore Lacer. Am I just gonna be able to have it running forever as long as there are enemies nearby? It's never gonna go. I'm always gonna be regenerating energy, and I've already got a lot of crit chance on my gun. It'll just give me more, you know. So it could be abused pretty easily. In that regard, it's definitely a case of power creep. But I like the mechanics of it, you know, in that it cools down. But also lets you, like I said, lets you extend it. I think that's a neat mechanic.
I don't like it.
Way too powerful?
No, I just fucking hate cooldowns.
Okay.
It's a dumb, lazy...
Like, if you can extend it for 60 seconds, most missions don't even last that long.
60 seconds?
Okay, that's not true. They last a... I'm thinking like captures. You can do those in about 2 minutes.
Yeah. Personally, I would have an ability lockout for like 5 to 10 seconds. Right? So you cast it, you get your crit chance increase, you get energy regen increase, but you can't use any abilities for like 5 to 10 seconds.
Oh, so you just lock out everything.
Lock out everything for a short period of time. Because if I had to replace any ability, that's my go-to. Right? I absolutely detest that like okay, so crit chance. I could just go with God. What Warframe has an increase in crit chance? Does any Warframe have an increase in crit chance as an ability?
Jeez. I don't think so off the top of my head. There probably is one, and I just can't remember it.
Not like Rhino's.
No, roar just increases raw damage.
Okay, but and then it's just a case of okay, we'll slap on rage, slap on Hunter's adrenaline, right? You know, oh, there you go. There's your energy problem gone, right? I just
but it regens energy for you. You don't.
Yeah,
need,
but that's
my
point. My point is, you could replace this ability with something else.
Okay, yes.
Slap on Hunter adrenaline, and
yeah,
and like I just it feels weird that I'm spending energy and locking it out to regain energy.
Yeah.
You know, if I was locking out all abilities for like a huge buff, sure, but I'm not. Anyway, Rotor Swell. It is Rotor Swell, isn't it?
Rotor. Well, yes.
Yeah. Self buff generates an electric field that will shock nearby enemies, dealing critical hits while the ability is active, creates a large electrical discharge that chains from enemy hit to nearby enemies.
So it's Volt's discharge, but with critical chance.
World on Fire.
And
I swear it was a toggle as well. I swear it was a toggle.
Yes, you're right, it is, yes.
Did it lock out the Warframe?
They're really leaning into the critical hits and chance with this frame. Because like earlier we have the one where it increases her crit hit for each electrical status active on enemies. And that's wasn't there one that like there's like ability crits now? Was that the one?
What?
There's something about ability crits. For each.
If they're passive. 10% chance for abilities to crit for each electrical status effect as active on.
Yeah, so now we've got ability critting along with weapon critting. They're really just leaning into that crit meta.
Yeah, I'm not sure how I feel about this. Gyre comes with a signature rifle, the Ultinox, a huge electric cannon, and she is unlocked for farming by completing the Angels of the Zariman quest.
Bitches love cannons.
Bitches do love cannons. I don't know. Like I'm not the biggest fan of Warframes that have this huge reliance on constantly interacting with their abilities. Right? Periodic abilities, yes, fine, zero issue with. But I just find that there are more and more Warframes that are coming out with frequent ability use and no one's playing them.
I think, yeah, to some extent. Because stuff like Zaku, that's kind of you have to keep several buffs up to do what you want to do. I don't like that style of gameplay, but I know people that do. I feel like some of the more hardcore players are after this kind of synergy between abilities. Can remember when Pablo reworked Saren and everyone was like, "Oh, these abilities all work so well together now. This is amazing." Yeah. And they do, but you don't. It's not the same as something like this where you're constantly having to keep an eye on your cooldown and make sure you cast this ability before this ability and blah, that sort of thing.
But my understanding with Saren is that you have to keep the spores spreading.
That is true.
It's like
it's a very simple combination. You cast a spore. You make sure your 3 is active, which you want to do anyway because it increases damage. And then every now and then you scream at them with your 4.
Yeah. I just like... again, I've whinged about this before. There's so like even what's called Wisp, who I see more often than the bloody sun now, right? Her abilities are just so easy to use because you just put down Reservoir and then pretty much fucking just ignore the rest.
Yeah, I only ever really use her first. Well, I use her first ability, first and second, because the second is nice for movement sometimes and also spy missions. It's really good for spy missions.
Yeah, Garuda is another one that you just sort of like, you just set up the right combination of things and then you just kind of leave her to it.
Yep.
Yep.
As long as you can hit that 4 button and cast her talons, then everything dies.
Yeah, but like there's just so many Warframes now that are coming out, and it's just like too fiddly.
Yeah,
just far too fiddly.
Again, I think that's a personal taste thing, but it does mean that people are just going to get her for the mastery, and then well, the vast majority of people who just want to have a fun, casual time in Warframe are going to get the frame and then toss it away.
Yeah. Oh well, we'll see what happens. Should we go on to the Xmas changes, or do you want to talk about anything else?
Don't think I have anything else to say about Gyre.
Okay, Xmas changes. A change revealed here will give Xmas units an over health bar to protect their base health / shields / armor. The over health is always a direct proportion of the unit's total health, so it can't ever grow out of hand with the enemy's level scaling. As long as the over health is active, an Xmas is also immune to CC and all status apart from cold. Players must destroy the bar first before they can do things like stun, blind, ragdoll, or kill the Xmas. A shock Xmas spawned in the mission, showing that its new ability is to summon orbiting sparks that will launch at you, dealing to deal damage and procs. You can dodge these, but if they hit, they have guaranteed damage. And says, I swear I saw Rebecca shooting them as well.
Maybe I didn't actually pay that close attention, I guess.
Okay. But yeah, so how do you feel about the over health bar?
So it's essentially just another layer of armor or shielding or whatever.
Yeah. Protection.
I mean, Xmas units are supposed to be heavy units.
Yeah.
And this does at least give you a visual representation of that.
Yep.
I don't know. I always say that the solution to an enemy is not to make them tankier; it's to make them smarter. And so I'm not completely behind this. I kind of like the idea of them not being susceptible to CC. That's kind of neat. But
I quite like the whole protection bar thing. First off, as a visual thing, because now that we have this, maybe we can start seeing visual components for like, oh, this is an ally unit. It has a green border around it, which means you can't fucking hurt it.
Okay, fair enough. That would actually be a good thing to come out of this.
Right. The other side of this is, oh gosh, what was the other? I like the idea that you can't rely heavily on abilities especially CC abilities for Warframe that you will see in later games and things, because they have this CC immunity until this bar is gone. And maybe, I don't know if the bar comes back. I don't know if you break it, does the like shields and things, does it replenish over time? I'm certainly interested to see where this could go.
Yeah, I will say I also like the idea of an overhealth bar as opposed to a weak point, because it's easier for somebody like me who can't necessarily pinpoint target.
You just got a flamethrower.
True.
I get where you're coming from with regards to the weak point, but at the same time, there are so many. No, I do want weak points. I want both of these effectively. I want the. I hope. Oh God, I fucking hope that they haven't removed, because they demoed the gosh, what are they called?
Oh, the Spectre enemy boss things, mini boss
No,
things.
no. The Energy Leech Xmas, they demoed them a month ago, and they had these spines you had to break before you could kill the thing. I really hope that they haven't turned around and replaced that system for this. Because
Right.
it's like, you just throw a fucking grenade in the mix. There you go. Everything's fucking dead anyway. Like, how many times did we see, like, oh, you could only do headshot damage to this enemy? Well, good thing I have a flamethrower, which also covers the fucking head.
Yeah.
You know, so it's I honestly, like, I am for this, because hopefully it means we can get more complex enemy designs. Maybe it's a case of we start seeing them with I don't know, spiky health bars, which then means they won't take ability damage, but they will be CC susceptible. You get the idea.
Yeah. They can even do color coding for, like, this is a higher priority enemy. This is like your heavy enemy,
Yeah.
and these are more fodder ones.
Yeah. Do you want to talk about the Shock Xmas? Because Poppy's like, just there.
Yeah, I think we also got to see the Leech Eximus again, but I don't remember if it looked any different. I just remember that the bubble was still there. So yeah, they're gonna be interesting. I guess I'm looking forward to it.
Okay. Reb showed off the Hesper with the thing. I kind of want to skip that one.
Yeah.
Yep. So let's go straight into the focus rework.
All right.
Thalian warned me, saying that he didn't go into full detail on these because there's a lot
they
there.
showed off a lot. Yeah.
Yeah, this will be a full respec opportunity, refunding all the focus you have put in so you can spend it on the new system. Refunded focus will not be generic. Focus refunded from Vazrin will only be spent on Vazrin progress, and so on. The system implements multiple rework aspects. Rebecca showed us all 5 schools to list how they changed, but these are still in development, and some of them can change again. Patch notes with the full details on update day. All focus nodes only have 3 ranks. So they said this, right? And I saw on the same screen of them saying this, there were focus nodes with 5 ranks.
No.
And I'm like,
no. They were okay. So all of them have 3 ranks, but the waybounds have an extra one that you have to use to unbind them. So they have 3 ranks and the unbind.
Okay, fine, right. Void Dash is now Void Sling.
Yeah. I'm a little worried because of the way that they were very, very carefully talking about Void Sling. It was like, oh, we're trying not to take away the speed and distance or anything, but we're making it more maneuverable. I'm really hoping we're not getting on another Link situation.
Well, they did show off the how it worked in the gameplay reveal.
Yeah.
Right. So you could hold it to control the distance as well as the
direction.
Yeah. So, or you could just tap it to just go beep, like you normally do.
I was the tap shorter? I couldn't really tell. If the tap is shorter than the current distance, then it's
No, I think the tap is like just the current distance that it normally is.
That would be fine.
But anyway. I can't remember where I was.
The name is kind of silly.
Right, yeah. So Void Dash is now Void Sling and isn't used to trigger functions like Energizing Dash. Though I swear there was one that still said you got to dash through the target. Since the last dev stream, this new version of the dash has been sped up to make it more fluid. You can tap to dash short distances or hold it to quickly extend the range, while you can go long way if you have the Naramon waybounds unlocked. Operators will now have abilities based on their schools. While would love to take the time to read through all of these. There were so many changes to the schools that I literally couldn't read through them in time. So in the time we have, highlights include Madurai, where you can now use a single ability to consume all your remaining operators' energy to buff your outgoing damage by 10% for every 1% of energy consumed this way, which means you can get up to 1,000%. This ability can be further buffed to give your weapons for both your operator and Warframe a 40% efficiency boost, so they drain slower. I assume that means ammo slower? I don't know.
Yeah. Yes, I think so.
The ability is powerful, but only lasts 8 seconds and is on a 40-second cooldown to prevent overuse. Yeah, I can get that. Xenoric's Energized Dash is switching to a triggered ability. While it has all of the same base effects as the current version, you will also be able to buff the duration of the energy regen while as well as buffing the ability strength if you recast the ability in the same spot before the bubble fades. Vazarin's 4 instant revive passive is buffed to by granting 100% revive speed after the instant ones run out. And Naramon's dash or sling will now only stun enemies, opening them up for finishers, but also allows the operator to initiate the finisher attacks that summons your Warframe, which actually performs the finisher and grants a hefty crit chance buff for a duration afterwards. Please take the time to read the dev workshop before the update and then the patch notes after the update for the full information on the changes. They are extensive and will take a bit of getting used to. I kind of want to talk about Vazarin.
Sure.
So
I was actually going to ask you as a Vazarin enjoyer, as a typical Vazarin enjoyer, how do you feel about the changes?
First off, my eyes have gone all weird and funny. So I'm not quite sure I like the Vazarin changes at all.
Yeah.
So first off, what is the point in giving me the 4 instant revives and the 100% revive speed after one, right? Why not just either give me infinite instant revives or no instant revives, right? I don't understand. What is the value of it? Right?
I mean, as it stands now, you only get the 4 instant revives, period.
No, you get 4 on the Warframe and 4 on the operator.
I'm sure it'll still work that way.
Right, but still, do you see my point? I don't understand. Oh, well, after the 4, you'll get 100% revive speed afterwards.
No,
so you recognized... No, but I don't understand the point, right? It seems like we recognize that 4 may not be enough. So we're giving you this stick instead of another carrot. Honestly, it seems like such a half-assed thing.
I'd say it's less that 4 isn't enough and more that there's still this benefit, this synergy that goes along with being a healer. Okay. Is that you still get the ability to heal faster, even if you can't heal instantly.
Think about this, right? You got 2 conditions. If you can think of a third one, we'll talk it through. condition 1, no one goes down. So you don't get more than 4 what's called revivals in a mission, right? Making the 100% extra revive time pointless. Or 2, you get someone going down. So you get more than 4 goes down, right? To which, you then get any use out of the extra 100% revive speed. So it reduces the revive time by 50%, right?
Yeah.
Do you not feel that this is weird?
No, not really.
Well, how often are you in a situation where there's more than 4 go downs?
Me, who never really plays endless missions, not often. But somebody who plays endless missions, maybe, yeah.
So if you're playing endless missions, if you're doing endurance runs and things, and you use those instant revives, I don't know. It feels dumb. What's the point in having the instant revives if you can't follow through?
What do you mean? Wait, what do you mean follow through?
Well, okay, let's say on an endurance run, you'll have, hypothetical, you have nothing but instant revives, 100% instant revives, yeah? Indefinite instant revives.
Mm-hmm.
Instantly, that ability becomes invaluable, right?
Yeah.
Because you will be able to pick up anyone and everyone instantly, right?
Yeah, but that's way too powerful.
Why?
Because anyone could just, pets could go down, people could go down. You never have to worry about, trying to protect yourself while reviving them,
But I could likewise, I could just go, I'm not going to pick up anyone. But the second me up, I'm instantly back up. Right?
True.
Right? If they made it so that you had 4 revives for anyone, instant revives for anyone, but you personally have infinite instant revives, again, I'm fine with that. It just seems really weird that there's this, chasm of a design structure where you have 4 instant revives and then it's down to 50% time to revive someone. I don't like the grants a buffed 100% revive speed. I much prefer to say it takes half the time. Right?
Yeah, the wording could be better. Yeah.
Yeah, but regardless of that, it feels like, right, okay, I'm going to give you a pizza and a trout. These are two very different things.
It's more like I'm going to give you a pizza and then I'm going to give you some Parmesan to sprinkle on top of the pizza.
You really? Well, how are you getting any Parmesan off of this instant revives? That's my point. The 100%. Oh, sorry. The reduced revive time doesn't feel like it adds anything at all.
I disagree. I have run through all of my revives before, and it would be nice to be able to just pick somebody up or pick somebody up faster.
But I would be happy with just okay, we'll just reduce the time then, right? Just I could do it in a quarter of the time or half the time as what they've got on there. I don't understand. It just feels so two different things to me, right? Also, I don't know if you noticed. So one thing that's not been listed here, all of the abilities specify whether or not they affect operator or Warframe. Do they? Do you not see that?
No.
Yes. In the UI, you have the name of the thing, right? The node. You have whether or not it's passive or active, right? And then you have Warframe or operator.
Ah, okay.
I don't think you're going to be able to heal anything anymore as like the defense target at all as Vazarin.
I mean, they've been trying to move away from that for a while anyway.
I think we're going to see a stealth nerf with this.
Yeah. It's possible. That's entirely possible.
Which, I'll be honest, is partly the only reason why I take Vazarin.
Right, yes.
If we're no longer going to be able to do that, a very large part of me is like, well, if that's the case, I'm going to take something else. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think that's part of what they're trying to do with this is make more is shuffle things around and make people choose stuff for different reasons.
Yeah.
They've also been kind of trying to move away from that anyway. I mean, they've already made it so that it doesn't make the defense targets invulnerable. It just gives them a regenerative buff.
Yeah,
and it's not even as good as it's not even as good a buff as it used to be, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, they have been working towards that, but yeah, you may be right that they're going to take it away entirely.
Yeah. But again, like there was weird stuff with the Guardian shell, like it just sounded like I was so confused. Like I was, why can't I just have my I dash through thing, I heal thing?
Mm-hmm.
You know, I think they were saying something like the healing is now only on operators, and yeah, I want to see Vazarin.
I don't think it was only on operator. I think they said your target or something.
No. One of the things, I don't think the healing was the first ability or something, but there was one of the things super confusing where the first so it says something along the lines of you get healed for 6 health per second while you're crouched or something, and I'm like, that's not how that used to be, I swear. Right? It's like, I don't know if it's just the wording or because that was the one I cared about the most. I went through Vazarin, I was just like, I was so confused. Was there any other of the talent trees you were particularly interested in?
The Xenoric one is interesting because now it gives ability strength too. I mean, why 90% of the player base is just going to be like, okay, now before I had energy, now I have energy and power strength. Why am I ever going to use anything else outside of niche situations?
Well, that's again, like, oh, sorry, you wanted healing. Oh, well, you see, here's this thing. I'm now Xenoric.
Yeah.
I now have plus 40% extra ability strength, and now that means that my Oberon is dealing, I don't know, what, 1,400 heal a tick? Yeah, so no, that was the armor. I can't remember. Yeah, so it's just like, why would I not pick this?
The Magi one. I saw some people complaining about the cooldown, but even in the stream, they said this. Before you had to calculate how long you would crouch, how long you would actually use your buff before you had to crouch again, etc., etc. So I think it works out to about the same time-wise. The thing I would like to see changed is make it a hold ability, and depending on how long you hold, determines how much energy it uses.
Just
so it doesn't just dump it all at once.
You know this vault that you're on?
Uh-huh.
The floor had the lasers.
Uh-huh.
If you look through the window,
you can't turn them off anymore. You used to be able to. You can't turn them off anymore.
Oh, I thought you could.
It's also almost always impossible to get up above into the rafters, I swear.
Yeah, I swear the path is never complete anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, fine. Yeah, so I just reckon that Xenoric is just gonna just completely OP the fuck out of this.
Yep, I think you're right.
Oh, was this the second time we went through this? Because Joey fucked up.
This is me coming into the vault, I think, when you're already in here. And you're like, oh, I'm gonna get into the lasers, but I turned the lasers off before you could. Ha ha ha.
Yeah.
Ha ha ha.
Because you're a dick. Anyway,
Yeah, that's really the only thing I can think of. Oh, I think it's interesting the way that they're trying to make the warframes and the operators more of a tandem thing. Like you can, if you ground slam in operator mode, it brings a warframe to you and you slam into the ground.
I thought that was one specific school. I didn't think that was all the schools.
Is it?
I thought that was the melee school.
That may be true.
I gotta be honest.
I know that's the only one that has the finishers, which is another really cool thing.
Yeah, I think it was that specific because I thought, oh, that's cool that all of them get this. And then I think they were saying something like, oh no, it's the specific school that gets.
Oh, I must have missed that. Oh.
In all honesty, I don't know. I wasn't 100% paying attention.
Okay.
Right. Should we move on to the next part?
Sure. Oh, the Zeraman.
Yeah. Right, so the Zeraman hub is the I want to say the chrysanthemum. I keep on renaming this the chrysalith.
The Chrysler. It's the Chrysler building.
The mission nodes include 3 endless mission types, one of which was demonstrated on last dev stream, which I think was the flood.
Yes, I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. And can be accessed directly from the hub. Your apartments will be accessible from the star chart, so you don't always have to go through the hub to get there. It will be called the Dormizone,
which I hate. I hate that name, but whatever. That's
what is it? Why is it just called a dormitory? And a little preview here to show off a light spoiler for translators of the Tenno text. Rebecca also showed that you can lock the door to keep visitors out, obviously, and place loadout customizations in the additional unlockable room with the window. Rebecca did another walkthrough of the hub itself. There is apparently an exploration function where you can bring accolades that are hidden in the mission to the Cephalon NPC for lore purposes. Oh, I missed that.
Curious, or Cephalon fragments or what have you.
Oh, I completely missed that.
I hope it's a little closer to Curias or maybe the
fish.
Oh, what were these? Yeah, the fish or the partner fragments on Jupiter. You know, one of those things where you have to really look for them.
Partner fragments on Jupiter?
Partnership fragments, I think it was. So they're little lore things that explain how Alad came to work with the sentients.
Right, where it turns out one of them was replaced with a mimic. One
yes.
of the Corpus was replaced.
Yes,
yeah, okay, cool.
Yeah.
Damn, I don't know if I've listened to all of those. I know I did listen to a lot of them. Anyway, blah 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 blah. Rebecca did another.
He thinks they're going to be Granum crowns. I don't think so.
I presume these are similar to Granum crowns. They spawn in missions and are redeemed in mission, rewarding exploration to find and redeem. It might be a case of they are a Granum crown, but it's like it's not highlighted. Actually, a better description is the Ayatan statues, because they're not highlighted in the environment at all. You could easily run right past an Ayatan statue and not fucking realize it.
That might be
number of times that's happened to me. Yeah. The endless mission shown off this time was Void Cascade. The objective here is to prevent a Void Cascade from taking over the zone. The cascades come from Exolyzer?
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
Okay, from Exolyzer towers that are corrupted and project an anti-warframe field that forces you to use your operator. I was down for that.
I mean, yeah, but why? Why would they have anti-warframe fields?
No, I don't think it's anti... I personally, I prefer anti-transference fields.
Okay,
right?
Yeah, I was going to say, is it just a case that the void is so volatile there that you can't use your transference from so far away?
Yeah. The endless mission. I reread that part. You must approach a tower, use your operator to clear any corruption around it, and then kill a mini boss that spawns from the tower. Mini boss units will attempt to retake the towers, much like the interception mission format. Multiple towers will spawn in the mission, so difficulty will ramp up with time until you reach saturation point for fucking hell.
We have a pause for a minute.
No, I'm good.
Okay.
Multiple towers will spawn in the mission, so difficulty will ramp up over time until you reach saturation point on the mission. You will have to manage basic mobs, mini boss units, and the Void Cascade in order to keep the mission going. In all honesty, I hope this is kind of difficult, right? I hope this isn't a walk in the park even. I hope that there is a huge emphasis on putting time and effort into upgrading your operator. Hell, it would be nice to see some in this faction. Hey, look, here's some new operator based weapons, right? This is stuff that will be great for Tridolon hunts and shit like that. But and like, for the love of God, because this is going to be after the new war, right? Make it like fucking good and powerful. Because seriously, like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Give us. I'd say give us some actual guns, but the one we got from New War for the operator wasn't, or for the drifter, I should say, wasn't exactly great. So maybe different than that, but you know,
give us the equivalent of a Soma,
yeah,
for the operators now, because like seriously, this will not be available until the new war is done.
Yes,
right?
Yeah.
So this is a really solid path of progression now.
Yeah, this should be. Yeah, your operators are getting stronger access to better weaponry from the old war. I don't know, something. Because our current amps are just like cobbled together from Eidolon parts and stuff.
Yeah. Is there anything you want to talk about in terms of the Zerman? It's like the what we've just spoken about, the Zerman with the mission and all that stuff.
There were also, along with the new game modes, which they didn't show off Armageddon yet. Obviously, they want to keep that one special. It was also like a mobile defense and I think a regular exterminate and stuff. So there's still going to be some normal type missions on there, which I think is going to be interesting.
They did say that the only difference with the exterminate is how you exit it. So, yeah. So I think it's got a case of like you have to go back the way you came in.
Right. Something. Yeah. I don't know. Oh yeah. Sorry. Go ahead.
Speaking about that, I'm a little concerned, Nazareth, that the tiles are going to be really slim pickings. I am concerned.
Kind of like the sentient tile set.
The sentient tile set.
Yeah, for the Murexes.
No, I'm talking. I mean, to be fair, yes, they are slim pickings, but they are diverse enough for me to not go, oh, I know this one. I'm talking more like the isolation vaults. Like the isolation vaults. I mean, how many tiles are there in the isolation vaults?
9, I think. Maybe
really?
12.
It feels a lot less, right? But it to be honest, that's the concern I have, is like, oh, you're doing this exterminate. It's the same fucking layout for every exterminate. That, honestly, I hope they don't do it, but that has it's like one of the biggest parts that drew me to Warframe was the fact that the environments were procedurally generated. I was always kept on my toes.
I would, speaking of the olden days, I would be fine with a very sparse tile set to begin with, as long as they kept adding tiles. Because they used to do that all the time. They'd be like, oh, we've released 5 new tiles for this map.
I think the problem is that because
of the nature of people grinding and then leaving and never coming back. they'd never get any use out of that.
Okay, let's talk about it now, right?
Okay.
Personally, right? If I was able to influence the way that this content was produced, I would have released the Zimmerman tile set without the NPCs in the quest hub, just the mission without the dormitories, without the quest, just the Zimmerman, right? On its own. I don't know. Back in March, maybe February.
Oh God,
right?
yeah.
Yeah. Then I would have added in the quest, right? With the NPCs and everything, with a Gyre, right? And then later on, I would have added in the dormitories, right? The problem I have is it's been nearly by the time this comes out, it would have been 4.5 months after the release of the new war, right? And it feels that there has been a lot of bloat that has held back the release of this, and I'm like, oh, for the love of God, seriously!
The dormitories are completely irrelevant anyway. I still don't understand why those are even here.
Like, I feel like the dormitories, like, you're gonna customize it once, and then when are you gonna go back to that fucking thing?
Yeah, unless you can somehow set that as your starting point when you load the game, and you're able to join missions and
you need a foundry
just fine. You need a foundry.
You need
mods.
You need the mods.
Yeah.
If you don't, you need a pet station,
or at least access to Wi-Fi to go to use your ship's facilities.
If you do not have access to those facilities, you're fucking not getting anywhere. Yeah.
And also the lock feature on the door. Why can random people just go to your dormitory without when you're not there? Why is there a lock?
I don't know.
I would like. I don't understand the dormitories.
I kind of would like the idea, because maybe, the next feature that we're going to talk about is the clan recruitment thing. Maybe your clan rooms can be all side by side, right?
Yeah.
And if that's the case, maybe you can lock the door, right?
Do you think they're going to do that? I don't know.
Oh, also it would need navigation as well.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah,
like I said, basically it needs launch missions from there, yeah.
Yeah, it needs the whole functionality of the set. If it doesn't have that, people aren't going to use it.
Yep.
They'll make it pretty, and then
as it is, I know a lot of people who don't want to use the Drifter Camp because it takes longer to get from the Lisette part to the Orbiter part.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure that's my motivation behind staying on the regular Lisette.
Yep, I know it's part of mine.
Anyway. Should we move on to
I think I have one thing to say about the new mission type, and that's just that it kind of feels a little, it's just Orphix Venom, or it's just an Orphix mission mixed with a interception mission, and I'm not sure how I feel about that, but it'll be interesting to try at least.
I'm kind of fine with it. I mean, I think it needs interaction, it needs playing and things like that. I think it also entirely depends on, is this something soloable? Versus is this something you need a team for?
Mm-hmm.
Is this something you should? Because, remember, fucking, I loved defections. Right, I thought defection missions were amazing.
Yeah,
right,
but you can really only do them solo.
Except, exactly. The conceptual flaw behind solo missions is that they are better off solo than anything else, and that's so fucking sad, right? The scaling is just wonky on defection.
Yeah,
and hell, you know what? I'd love a defection mission on this, right, where you are rescuing one Tenno at a time, or one drifter at a time.
That's also part of the defection missions, is that the enemy or the friendly AI is really dumb, and the people just scatter all over the place sometimes.
Yeah, and like you really need one person to cover. Maybe make them weak as fuck. Maybe make it so that you can pick them up 4 times instead of once, right? But like, yeah.
Although I did just make myself a little bit more excited for the new mode, and that is, it also kind of reminds me of Infested Salvage, and I've been wanting that game mode to be expanded on for so long.
Yeah,
so, you know, maybe it'll be good. Maybe it'll be like that.
Fuck, I loved Infested Salvage. It's
underrated. I don't know why people don't like it.
You know what? That should be one of the questions. Why do you not like Infested Salvage?
There you go.
I'm gonna add it in. Why do you not like Infested Salvage? Right, let's move on to the next part, which was the clan recruitment. Find a clan or members for your clan. Is being updated. You can advertise your clan to the public, giving it a description and tagging it in search options like beginner friendly or decorated dojo. People looking for a clan will have a dedicated menu option to search for the clan, and both searching as well as posting adverts can also be done from Maru's Bazaar. Adverts cost resources to post, and an ad will only be up for 8 hours before you have to reapply. Okay.
While I am excited that they're giving clans some form of attention, I wish it was a little more meaningful than just updating recruitment. I also think a lot of people are going to put decorated dojo in, even if it's not decorated, just to try and get people. I do like that it's only available for 8 hours. You know, you can't just you'd have to actually come back and post it again.
I think that should be updated to 24 hours.
Really?
And I think you should you can refresh it within the last 4 hours.
Yeah, I'd be fine with that. Yeah.
Or the last hour or last 2 hours, right? Because not everyone is going to have the opportunity to jump in to do it. I mean, like, well, then maybe that
do it like before work and then come back and do it after work, and
maybe that speaks to it as well, like the time zone changes and things like that.
I think
which time zones are you covering? Yeah, but
I think the idea behind doing 8 hours is to try and give everyone a chance to really get their advertisement seen.
Yeah,
so not just a few clans can dominate.
Yeah, I like this. Do you know what Loz's reaction was?
What's the point when clans don't do anything?
Yes, you got it in one.
That's exactly what I mean. Yeah, I'm excited that they're giving them attention, but where's the meaningful clan stuff? You know,
like if there were trials and things to do, like the raids, the 8-player content, fine, right? But there just isn't.
Yeah, at this point, all clans are really for is getting research, getting the weapons, and the warframe.
Yeah. I think the first time in months that I went to my clan dojo was only recently, because you were helping me out with the Spore Lacer.
Yeah. And
we ended up doing it in yours anyway. So, but yeah, so it's just like, yeah, but what is there to do? What is there to do? That's the question.
Exactly.
Right. I do like the tagging, though. I think the tagging is a brilliant idea.
Yes.
But how many people are just going to mislabel it and just slap everything?
Do you think they'll
Anyway.
expand this sort of thing to other areas of chat, like regular recruitment or trading?
I can't see a point to.
Really? Not even for recruiting?
No, because I think people are just going to slap. Like, so I'm wondering how many guilds are going to go beginners friendly, right? They say that they are beginners friendly, and none of them are beginners friendly.
Oh yeah,
right?
that's true.
So like, you know, oh, you haven't finished the new war. We don't want you.
Sorry, when I say recruiting, I mean for missions, not for.
I know.
Okay.
I think in part this is going to backfire, and I think, well, if we can't control it for guilds,
right?
how
Okay.
clans even, how are we going to control it for looking for group chat? You know, so the next things for this, as a final note, you can purchase a Nidus maggot for your ship instead of a domestic drone. If you bought Nidus Prime Access, you'll be retroactively granted a maggot Prime. And then the Angels of the Zariman will be released on April 27th on all platforms. So
not much time between now and then.
Yeah. So let's. But I mean, this is the pain I suffer is the fact that I don't know who else is going through this, but 4.5 months after the new war.
Yes. Yeah. There's not much time left now, but we've waited so long for this, way too long for this, for stuff that should have been coming out with the new war.
Well, so I want to be in part a bit like, okay, I get it. The new war was a big update for them. It was
potentially
a big quest.
Bigger than it should have been.
Yes. I think you did a challenge with Stevev, where you finished which quest?
I think I did all the regular story quests, and he did the new war. So you did to see which was going, which would take longer. Yeah.
Second Dream, The War Within, Chains of Harrow, The Sacrifice.
Didn't do Chains of Harrow.
Okay, so you didn't do Chains of Harrow.
Yeah, he said not to do that one, even though I was like, why? It is technically a story quest, but you know.
Right. Okay. So yeah, and how quickly did you?
Oh, I don't remember. I think it took me about 2.5 hours, something like that, and it took him more like 3 hours.
Right. Okay. So
and it was even with me like taking my time and being, you know, kind of casual about it.
Right. Okay. I was about to say, like, surely you should have done that in like an hour and a half, 2 hours tops. So yeah. So yeah, that's my. So obviously the new war.
Now that I think about
the new war. Lol. The new war was a pretty damn big update for just one quest, but I think because it had no real legacy system behind it, that's the biggest problem.
Yes, having only those Narmer bounties was almost like a slap in the face.
Yeah, I mean, it's maybe a little harsh to say that, but still. Right. Any follow-ups you have for this topic for the dev stream?
Nothing that really comes to mind.
Okay, I'm gonna be honest. I was left feeling quite sour to the fact that we didn't see the gameplay until an hour in. Right.
You and I differ on that, but I get it.
This is my personal opinion.
Yeah.
I was a bit of a Sour Patch Kid. I was all sweet and tangy on the inside. And I kind of feel like if you're... So when it comes to streams, I don't think you should ever tease the good stuff and then drag it out, right? You should go, bam, here's the stuff, right? Now we're going to talk to you about the other stuff that's coming with the good stuff. Does that make sense?
Yeah, but I mean, there's this idea of building anticipation.
Yes, but the thing is, so when Loz and I don't know what the name for this is, but when Loz and I first played the second Dream, right? We were on such a natural high. We stayed up till 3 a.m, right? And we just played regular Warframe. We were so happy with what we had experienced. So the problem is that you're creating this hype, this artificial hype, to get people worked up for the new content, right? The thing that they want, but it can backfire so badly, right? That people will feel spiteful for the fact that I had to wait this long for it.
Yeah. There's a fine line between building anticipation and blueballing somebody.
Yes. Yeah. Very, very fine. That's a brilliant way of saying it. Like, again, I remember when I was a child, as a kid, you are programmed genetically to be an impatient little shit.
Oh,
right?
God, yes.
Christmas Day, if the first thing you weren't doing was opening up your Christmas presents, right? Life was torture.
Yeah.
Right? I actually genuinely knew a family that wouldn't open their Christmas presents until the afternoon. Right? They went to church and everything. And it was literally because the father just wanted to teach the kids
patience.
No, not patience, just how spiteful the world can be.
Whoa.
I was like, yeah. And I'm just like, well, what you're teaching them right now is how spiteful you can be.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So honestly, like I don't know. So this is actually something I would like. They're going on a massive tangent here. This is something that I want to do for Kampai Cast. So not Kampai Cast, for Notice Me Senpai and Arbiters. I want to do this is a 10-second snippet of awesomeness intro the show. Right? But I don't have an intro yet, so we haven't actually started executing. But like, I need to hook people on the quick awesomeness.
Yeah,
people, they're just gone so quickly.
Yeah.
People have very short attention spans.
I've seen that used before, and it is kind of a good hook.
Yeah, it is. It sets people up for what they're expecting.
I think what disappointed me about it wasn't how long it took to get to the gameplay, but how it, like, again, like I said earlier in the show, how much did they show us of the Vox Solaris quest and the Heart of Deimos quest, and what did we see today? Just some gameplay of one gameplay mode.
Yeah,
I say today, yesterday, whatever. Several days ago by the time this airs.
When it came out.
Yeah. That's but yeah.
I mean, one could say it was a grand total of 6 minutes worth of gameplay, but
yeah,
that would require people to be petty. So, right, should we move on?
Yeah, I believe that's it for the topics. Yeah, unless you have anything else.
No, I thought let's. I mean, at least this stream came out in mid-April and not
early April. Technically, I mean, it's still before the 10th.
Yeah. So early April instead of the
week before, or the day before, or
yeah, right.
Cool. So somebody, one of my, I can't remember who said this. They did one early this month, which means that the next one can be late in the month, like late May or something, early June.
Well, no, it's going to be end of May, because that's what's called. They will release.
That's the last one they can do before TennoCon.
No. They will release the Zerman update.
Yes,
and then right, they can wait a month now.
Yeah, and then that'll be the last one we get before TennoCon, if we even get that one. They may just say, "Oh, we're in full swing for TennoCon prep now."
Oh, okay. Right. Okay, let's move on to the next part, which I think is the graphs.
Good old graphs.
Cool. So the first graph we have for today. Right. Okay. So this one was about how we deal with the people that join and disappear and disconnect and things like that. And like a large part of the drive for this was, how do we handle those people We had originally had on the show before hiding the relic info, but I think it was like back at the start of the year, but people didn't like that idea. And then we were talking like last week about punishing players who started actively doing this shit. So the question then was punish or hide the relic info. So 26% of people said punish players actively joining and leaving. And 74% said hide the relic info on pubbies joining mission.
Interesting. So how do you, what would you say, instance, cat situation?
Yeah.
Choice? Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah, so people completely flipped their point of view on that one. The next one is, how do you think the community perceives pubbies jumping in and out of games just after... why is the rest of the title missing? No, it's just after the release of a
new Prime or whatever.
Prime. Yeah. So 5% said no opinion, 21% said neutral, and 74% said negative. No one said positive.
No one said positive. Not really surprised there.
Yep. So again, yeah, negative. Yeah. It's like, I mean, I think it would fuck off anyone, really.
Yeah.
Right, okay. Next is, which Xmas unit is the worst to deal with in the game currently, right? I put all of them in there. I put them all in the system, right? I didn't just put these three. I'm just going to say. So 5% said shock, 11% said venomous, and 84% said energy leech / parasitic.
Yep.
It's true, right? Now, this is the interesting one. No, that's the wrong one. That's the wrong one. It's graph 4.
Is it? Oh, shoot. Okay. Yeah, sorry.
Right. Do you feel that the Infested's greatest strength is energy leech Xmas units? 47% said no, and 52% said yes. So I'm interested. Were there any comments explaining no?
I think there was. That's Punish versus Hide. I may not have grabbed it. You wanna pause real quick while I go look?
Yeah, if we could. I just want to have a quick look. Cool. Right, we had a look. No, there wasn't.
Surprisingly.
Right, okay. And then, the last one, right? So this was, which character, who did we reference in the episode? Because, just seeing how many people actually did watch it. There were only 16 people out of the, I think it was like 19 or 20 who actually did any voting during this. Yeah, 19. Only 16 people actually responded. 5% said Ballas, 21% said Vahak, and 58% said Nefania. Why does this feel wrong? These numbers don't add up. Why do these numbers not add up?
What did you do?
I don't know. This...
Yeah, it should be 74%.
Hold on, let me
Xeno broke it. Xeno broke it.
Oops. Shit. I don't know. Fuck. Hold on, let me drag this over here. Right, and then copy that. Highlight this.
See, we paused for the comments, or to go read the comments, but this you get to experience every scintillating second of.
I broke
a peek into the wizardry.
I broke it. Oh no, it's two concats. So paste that there, hit that. So it's still 21%. Why is... Hold on, let me have a look at this. A bunch of people actually... Oh, wait, hold on. Is it because the number is... is the percentage based off of the wrong?
Is it counting the total number of people, completely?
No. Yes, yeah. It's not the total number of people on the actual question itself.
Right.
So I need to click on. So it's, which row is this? 30. So I need to change that to a 30. Click on that, and then drag this across. Right, here we go. So the actual proper numbers, which are not displayed on the screen right now, is 6% said Ballas, 25% said Vahak, and 69%. That's still wrong.
69? Nice.
Fuck it, we'll just go with that. Yeah,
no, that's right. 69 and 31? Yeah, that's right.
Oh, yeah, it is right. Yeah. So there you go. So, the answer was Nefanya, which we referred to at the very end of the fucking show because we forgot.
We didn't do one for this week.
No. I think we're going to have plenty of questions for this week. Right. Okay, so that's it for the graphs. We're now going to move on to...
Supporter questions.
Okay.
Old supporter question. Zrugel says, I remembered early this week. Before we start the supporter questions, I am going to ask everyone to make sure you've subscribed to the channel, like the video, and share it if you can. It really helps. He wrote that in a font called Phonetic, which is kind of reminds me of the way they used to write like some of the stuff back in the late 1700s. No, I was in 1700s. It's like the oh no, I'm wrong, because that was S's that looked like F's, and that is actually an F. So I don't know. Yep. Zrugel also says, do you listen to music at work? If so, what kind? Xeno listens to anime at work. That's all.
I mean, to be fair, he's not wrong. So sometimes when I have to properly work out stuff, I'll put music on. I listen to a very niche subset of music. I will not listen to a single band. Like, I cannot... Like, I like Rammstein, I like Tool, I like Metallica. I cannot listen to all their music. I'm really fucking picky when it comes to music. I'm like the pickiest motherfucker in the world when it comes to music. I also do listen to a lot of anime intros, because I'm a giant fucking weeb. Avril Lavigne, Nassim Brûlé, The Cause. Like, seriously, my fucking taste in music is just sadistic. What about you?
Well, currently, I'm if you consider this work, which I don't know if you can or not, I am listening to some dark synthwave in the background because I just gotta have background noise. I just got to. When that's when I used to work in an actual like retail job, I would listen to just the local rock station or whatever, or classic rock station, whichever. And when I'm doing editing for Notice Me Senpai, where it really counts to pay attention to what they're saying, I listen to, it's actually called like ADHD study music. It's just this weird sort of quiet pulsing background music that doesn't interrupt anything. Yeah. I don't know if it actually helps people with ADHD or not. I am not diagnosed, so I couldn't tell you anyway. But it's just kind of a nice quiet background noise to have there that doesn't bother me.
So it's quite funny because my work Mac, right, makes this high-pitched whine when it's plugged into like external monitors, but the monitors aren't looking at the Mac, they're looking at like my PC. So like a lot of monitors, they have like multiple inputs. So so and the Mac just makes this high-pitched whine and it drives me nuts.
Oh yeah.
So I cannot have my space purely quiet. Right, because that whine is like, and like Loz turns to me, it's like, how can you hear that? Like, I hear it all the fucking time. It drives me insane. So I've always got either I'm watching YouTube. I watch a lot of YouTube while I work. Right.
Yeah.
I get through so much YouTube, a lot of like podcasts and shit like that. But yeah. Anyway.
Right. So on to Gyrating Sphere.
Jesus fucking Christ. I assume that's Stallion.
Yeah. With the dead stream now making at least 2 of my previous questions obsolete, Gyre's abilities have now instead validated something for me. What's your opinion on the fact that we now have a second Warframe that can use Zephyr's Airburst without the Helminth. Because for me, it just proves that Airburst is now a good ability and that Zephyr is top tier.
What's fucking Airburst?
That's Zephyr's first ability, and I think it does like a knockdown.
Is it the push?
Yeah, I think so. I'm
Is
probably
it a push?
Thalian's probably gonna kill me for this because I don't.
Oh god! I mean, would it have killed him to actually say, "Oh, I'm referring to this one of Gyre's abilities," because we just fucking went over.
Yeah, hers must be the push.
Launches a sphere that deals damage on impact.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's it. Yeah. Airburst is yeah. Airburst. I'm wrong. It's not a wave. It's a projectile.
So you throw a projectile and it deals damage. I mean, it's fucking every Warframe.
I think it may also have a
Smite.
It may also have an extra effect that like it lifts them or ragdolls them or something.
Okay, here's one. Right, I'm gonna call you out, Thalian. Right, Airburst is just a poor man's antimatter drop.
Whoa! You can't say that. It's just a poor man's Ashes Shuriken.
There you go. That's better, right?
J Rating Sphere also says, given the preview of the new Dormazone, how soon before you invite Loz over to your apartment, only to lock him inside or outside for fun? Bonus question: how long after the update until Loz will have the internet connection to allow him to actually play the game? No one knows. No one knows.
I do feel so bad for him.
He's lost in this void.
I probably wouldn't. I don't know if I want to do anything with the Dormazone. I really don't.
Yeah, and the only thing he wants to do with Loz is shoot him out of a cannon, or out of a torpedo tube. So I mean,
like if I could interact with the furniture and things, if I could sit at the table, or that would be like fucking game breaking awesome.
Well, they said something during the dev stream, wasn't it? Was it Liger or somebody that said they needed to get actual furniture?
Furniture, yeah.
Because I mean, we've got that couch in our orbiter room. That's just all. You can't sit on it. You can't do anything with it.
So there's what you call? I put a table. Like I fucking never decorate like my operator room. I put a table in there to put the picture of what you call it? Like the family sort of thing. And you can fucking walk through the table.
Yeah. The only thing you can't walk through is Ayatans that have at least 1 star in them. Those are solid. Everything else, nope.
I'm just fucking what?
Well,
why can I walk through the...
I think they did it so that you can put decorations in places that you would normally need to walk through. I kind of feel like that's on the player, and if you can't get through a place, then you need to move your decoration, but whatever.
Part of me feels like, can I actually have a toggle ability? Because it feels like I lost all impetus to actually decorate the operator room after I discovered I could walk through the table. I'm not kidding. Like just dead. Right. Okay.
Yeah, I'm not really. I care about that. Stated earlier.
Yeah.
Right. Community responses?
Yep.
Anarchy. I think it's supposed to be Anarchy Gaming.
Anarchy. Yeah, Anarchy game.
The public versus hide relic question got me conflicted. There's one specific case that I will consistently leave a pub's relic squad. It must be Axie, and at least one teammate didn't use a relic. Axies are super annoying to farm, thus I have a short supply. If I join a pub and people didn't put a relic, I feel cheated of possible rewards. Now, should I get punished from leaving a pub where I assumed everyone put a relic, or should I not even get that information in the first place, and then wonder why I didn't get a full choice of rewards at the end? On Axie pubs, I must get horrible luck because I have to leave a lot due to this. I don't think I've ever had that problem. I probably have and don't remember, but it's not happened often enough to be a memory or to make an impression.
So the importance here is identifying, like, it's the flight risk, right? It's you could turn around, like, make a group with randoms using group chat. I think group chat would then suddenly become a lot more informative right? A lot more of a tool for everyone to use. But shit, where was I going with this? The whole point is that when you join and disconnect, you are destabilizing the ability of the other players, right? So though you are seeing your point of view from this, you are not experiencing the other's point of view. So in this situation, I get it. But when you are forming a group for yourself to do these Axie runs, you would be able to see what everyone's bringing. It's just the randos, right? Because the randos are the ones that are typically at fault. Also, we are talking about just that 1 week, right?
Yeah, that's true. Also, I would say, I would also say that you could do it so that it shows if they have no relic equipped, it shows that. But if they do have a relic equipped, it doesn't tell you any information about it.
Yeah.
If you still want to take that chance of leaving a squad and potentially getting a punishment, although you'd have to do it like, didn't we say you had to do it like 2 or 3 times or something?
It had to be like there have to be a lot of conditions to fulfill. So,
but if you still want to take that, that possibility, I think that's fine. Yeah. So Zrugel says, I was low-key hoping this would be a Destiny 2 episode for April Fools. Someday.
The problem for me is that I don't actually plan shit for April Fools. We did it once. Oh my god, that fucking backfired so hard. I did the, hey, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You know that?
This
right.
Is the He-Man one?
did. Yeah, the He-Man one. I did a April Fool's for that, where Loz was basically chewing me out and saying like he never wants to do 10 o'clock again, sort of thing.
God.
And it basically goes like, as you know, I have one last thing to say to you, and then it cuts to the hey, yeah. And people turn around and they left comments saying like, yeah, but is it over?
Oh no.
And I'm like, are you fucking for real? Right? And I just like fucking but I like the problem is the only show that we plan far enough in advance is Kampai Cast.
True.
Right?
Yeah.
Maybe Notice Me Senpai and Arbiters right now. But like I don't know, like I like April Fools, but at the same time, I don't like dealing with the shit afterwards.
Yeah. And finally, this one is from me. Slowmo242 says Oxymoko is in the void, and I rightly deserve to be called out for this because I said it was on Pluto, and then I said it was
fucking everywhere.
And yeah. So I told Xeno after that episode, and before I saw this comment, I'm gonna get roasted for this, and I rightly deserve it. You are correct, sir. It is in the void. It's not so easy when you're actually up here. I've realized.
Yep. Oh, I just fucking go with it. I just go like, I haven't a fucking clue. Me, expert, whatevs. Right. Okay.
Shall we move on to the memes?
Yeah, that's my meme.
All right. So meme number 1. When the Dread Dispenser finally drops something else, it's been 3,000 years.
Oh my god.
Number 2.
Now, what was that from?
I don't know what that's from. I
It
have
looks like
no
a Pokemon
idea.
game or something. It's definitely a Switch game. It's got to be a Switch game. Yeah. Okay. Next.
Meme number 2. Virgin Lich versus Chad Lich. Virgin Impact Grattler Lich gets disarmed entirely if stabbed. Forgot his helmet at the Koopa Fortress. Low energy. Fellow Grenier mock his impact element. Has iron skin dysfunction and can't keep it up long enough to last 5 minutes. The Chad Radiation Tonkor Lich cannot be disarmed even mentally. Wears a protective helmet and shines it daily. Can last all day fighting Grenier or Corpus alike. Can force enemies to fight each other just by existing. constantly roars to assert dominance over lesser liches,
Yeah.
arm wrestles his decoy just for the hell of it, and can snap his fingers and disarm anyone near him.
Yep.
So you know which one you gotta pick.
Yep.
So which one were you? The four horsemen of early game fashion, Orican Rhino. Red was the default, so uses blue instead. Excalibur likes turtles, and future edgelord Volt.
I gotta say, I was actually super lucky because I started the game with Loki.
I don't remember that far. I think I was Orican Rhino probably.
I can't remember what I think I was borderline edgelord because
I think we've all been through a phase like that.
Well, like my color scheme is typically black and red, right?
Yeah.
But either white, gray, or bone with neon green or like bright purple energy.
Yeah.
Right. And people keep on turning to me, it's like, oh yeah, it's totally, white is edgelord.
Yeah. I don't understand that. I mean,
why is not fucking edgelord?
Unless you're going for a like sentient look or something, then maybe.
Yeah. Oh, do you remember years ago they were talking about making clan colors? Oh.
Yeah.
So sad when that didn't happen.
Yeah. All right. Funny slow mist. My 255% strength Sarah into the Grenier Lancer as she activates Gloom. What'd you do here? You're absolutely completely helpless. It's true. Gloom is disgusting. Oh my god.
Yep.
Number 5. She really be dragging that wagon. Wisp whenever she slides.
Oh my god.
Yeah. This was actually animated, so but
Yeah.
And finally, we all know how to end Zoom and Boom, but no one's brave enough to say it. Reinforced glass. Remember?
Zoom and Boom.
So that's when you take a weapon like the Brahma or the Spore Lacer or whatever, something that does wide area, explosive, massive damage.
Yeah. So you spit in front.
In the old days, we had a reinforced glass, and you'd break it, and you'd have to go hack a panel, and everything would slow to a halt.
I miss the days of destructible glass.
I do actually too. I don't understand why they got rid of it.
The sheer volume of trolling that I did. So I get to the exit tile. Hopefully, the previous room had breakable glass.
Yes.
I like fire my Toncore in there. So like I'd see someone running up to me. I'd fire my Toncore in there to destroy the glass, and the door just slams right in front of them.
Yeah,
fucking love that shit. I loved it.
I wish they would have put it, instead of getting rid of it. I wish they'd put it on Grenier ships, but no.
Yeah.
Alas. So that was the last meme, which means community shoutouts.
Yeah. Right. So
we actually hit that button. There we go. Yeah.
Cool. Right. So the first community shoutout is Harrow Reliquary by Dasta Creations.
Sorry if you can hear. I don't think the recording can hear that, but yeah. I don't know what he's watching, but it's apparently real fucking funny.
Right. Okay. So here we have Harrow Reliquary by Dasta Creations. Nazareth goes, "Oh, wow, that looks so good."
That does look pretty good, though. You gotta admit.
Yep. Next we have Operators and Warfare. So this is 2 slides, but I picked the second one by Swirldo 101. So
that's cute.
Very silly. So I think the other one is another operator and Nidus. I think I'm not sure.
I don't quite understand why are they making a list though?
Oh, why not?
Okay, no, it's fine. It's fine.
All right. Number 3 is a work in progress of the Tenant Archiplasmor by John Berger.
That's widescreen John, right? Yeah.
Yeah,
dude. I've been following this progress. It is so good.
Yep. The 4th one is Eidolon by Niram.
Wow. Okay. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Number 5 is Chilling in Personal Quarters by Arson Xmas. Pixel art. I love
Everyone loves a good pixel art. Yeah.
Everyone loves a good pixel art. Rip Reddit place.
I kind of wish this was animated in the old, you know, sort of back and forth bouncing style. Yeah.
The idol kind of thing.
Yeah.
This is them sitting down in the
Yeah.
Like, I wish we could sit down in the personal quarters.
If
anyway,
only.
And the 6th one is Work in Progress of Hildren Human Frame by Yui Zaki Ruji.
I mean, it's good. I'm generally against humanized frames for some reason. I don't know why. She's not thick enough though. She needs to be thicker.
Well, her hair's plenty thick.
That's true. Yeah.
Actually, no. To be fair, I do quite like this. I thought this was.
Oh yeah, no, it's very well done.
Yeah. Right, and that is it for the community shoutouts. So this is time for the end of the show. Thank you very much, everyone, for listening as we watch multiple people. They were watching multiple people just lying on the floor. Instead, we'll just look at these lovely Patreon names, these amazing individuals. So pretty, so delicious. And so that's it for this week's episode. Thank you very much for everyone who has participated. Listened. Oh fuck, I'm brain dead.
See you next week. We'll see you next week.
Yeah, bye. It's 1 a.m.